What's good, y'all? How's it going? I wanted to try something new today and read some Reddit stories while I play on my new Minecraft hardcore world. This is a modded world, so I'm going to leave the mod list down in the description. If you guys have any tips or anything, or if you guys want to play it yourself, you can. But I figured, because playing Minecraft is one of my favorite things, and I do it on my own anyway, so I figured I might as well do some reading over it, read some Reddit stories. I found a few that I enjoyed. I read the first few bit of these, so hopefully they're good. If they're not, you guys probably won't be seeing it. But yeah, so this first one, I found this on r/pointless stories, and the title is, I was the victim of an unusual crime. I'm going back to where it happened. Today I'm going back to the scene of the crime. A few years ago, my son was going to a birthday party 1 block from a huge Chinese grocery store I love. I offered to drive him because I'm a supportive parent who absolutely did not have ulterior motives. At times, I have overfilled our fridge and pantry with exciting ingredients we can't buy at our usual stores. So my wife asked me, very reasonably, to limit myself to 1 bag. I did it. I curated a single, perfect bag. As I was loading it into the truck, a man appeared behind me. One hand clutched 2 grocery bags. The other stayed in his jacket. I looked inside. It was more Chinese groceries. Exactly the kind of stuff I would have bought if I weren't limited to 1 bag. As I had stood there stunned, a police officer rode by. I waved them down and explained the situation. Oh yeah, the officer said. A reverse Chinese grocery robbery. That's a totally normal and real thing that happens. It's definitely not a story you made up to explain to your wife why you bought too many groceries. She'll be so relieved to hear that, I said. For safety, he added gravely, you should keep those groceries. So I did. I'm a law-abiding citizen. It's been a few years, but today my son has a new Batman class 2 blocks from that store. Given the high rates of reverse Chinese grocery robbery in that exact area, I am nervous. But sometimes you have to face your fears and grab a car. Keep me in your thoughts, and if anything happens, please tell my wife the police made me do it again. I think that's a great lighthearted story. I read the first few sentences of it, and I knew immediately this is going to be pretty funny. Again, that was on r/pointless stories. I have another one from there. This one's called, My Teacher Lost Respect for Me Over a Candy Bar. Now, I didn't read the first few sentences because just that hook alone caught me. And I have high hopes for this one. So we'll see how it goes. When I was in 8th grade, my dad went on this sugar-free kick and stopped keeping sugar in the house and letting us get candy at gas stations. When I told my dad I needed him to buy me some candy for a school project, he was instantly suspicious. I assured him it was true, and he bought me the candy, but made me promise I wasn't going to eat it. When I was done with my model, I brought the leftover candy to my teacher, saying that she could give it to any student that forgot to bring their candy. She asked why I didn't just eat the candy. I explained to her that my dad is on a health kick, and I promised I wouldn't eat it. She was insanely impressed that as a young teenager I would respect and obey my parents, even in the absence of supervision. But at the end of this unit on atoms, she had a little contest, and I won. The prize was a king-size Snickers bar. Oh man, these Snickers low-key sounds really good right now, I ain't gonna lie. Snickers or even Three Musketeers, those are classics, bro. But the best one, and let me know what you guys think in the comments, but personally my favorite candy bar is Crunch. I think Crunch is the best. Snickers is good, Kit Kat's good, but nothing hits like a Crunch, bro. Or, I mean, I don't know, this might be controversial, but Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, are they candy bars? Because if a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup is a candy bar, it might be the best. Them and Crunch are on the same. But is it really a candy bar? Or is it a candy sphere? Or candy cup? Let me know what you guys think. But coming back to this, so the prize was a king-size candy bar. And she took me aside after class and said she would try and come up with another prize. In my head, I was thinking, what the hell are you talking about? And she said something like, well, I know that you're not allowed to have sugar. Bruh. Ain't no way a kid is turning down a prize sugar, though. That's completely different. I told her that I'm taking the candy bar. I didn't eat the other candy the other day because I explicitly promised I wouldn't eat that candy. No such oaths had been made for the candy in question, and I fully intend for it to be gone by the end of the day so that I couldn't get roped into any other ridiculous promises. The look on her face made me feel like I had just shattered her recently restored faith in humanity. Oh man, dude. That teacher, bro. Her whole worldview probably shattered right after this. But she seemed disgusted that I was more than okay with going behind my parents' back. From that day on, she only saw me as yet another sneaky, conniving teen. That's crazy, bro. Just over a candy bar? I mean, come on. It's a prize, too. Like, any teen would take that. Any kid would take that. Let's be real. Honestly, though, now that I'm a mom, I feel that there was still plenty of integrity in keeping my promise. I had respect for myself, not the rules. Eventually, my parents did catch on that the only way to get me to obey was to get me to verbally agree to do something, and be very specific. I think all of us kind of remember in school, there was always that one kid that kind of did, like, suck up to the teacher. But me personally, like, I was always friends with everybody. And I always found that those people were always some of the coolest people. Like, yes, you know, they did kind of, like, kiss ass to the teacher. But, I mean, who cares? Like, everyone could do whatever they want, you know? And that's the beauty of, like, school like that, is that everyone has opportunity, you know? And that's just the way they found to be successful. That's how I always thought about it. So this next one's a little different. It's r/am I the asshole? And it's a little bit longer as well. So we'll see. I read the beginning of it, and I thought it'd be interesting. But yeah, we'll see. So this one is, am I the asshole for refusing to reimburse my friend for a chair that broke under me? I, F25, was at a friend's house for a game night this past weekend with a group of about 6. Everyone brought food and drinks, and we were having a good time. When about halfway through the night, I got up to use the bathroom. When I came back, I saw that one of the girls had moved from chair. When I came back, I saw that one of the girls had moved from a chair to the side to my space on the couch. But this didn't bug me as people shuffled around in groups and whatsoever. The chair was an antique wooden chair that sat a bit lower to the ground with an added back or butt cushion. When I sat down, it immediately broke. Oh, hell no. Oh, no. There's no way, bro. Oh, dude, I would never show my face in that house again if that happened. That's crazy. That is really embarrassing, dude. Fuck. When I sat down, it immediately broke, sending me to the ground with the seat under me and the arm frames falling to the side. Everyone got quiet for a second before jumping to help me. I wasn't hurt, just very embarrassed. For context, I'm a bigger girl, about 260 pounds, 5'7". Yeah, I mean, antique chairs are kind of your enemy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. If there's no way. Okay, let's just keep reading this. My friend F27 was very gracious and nice about it when it happened, accepting my apologies and telling me not to worry. Her boyfriend M29 said that the chair was his grandmother's and it had fallen apart before and he was able to repair it. I was ushered back to the couch and the game night continued. Fast forward to the next morning, I receive a text from my friend who let me know that the chair couldn't be put back together and that from her research it would cost about $250 to get a new one. But she let me know exactly how much when she found out. I was a bit taken aback and responded confused, asking myself why would I be expected to pay for a faulty chair. She said that while yes, on occasion, the frames would become attached or unattached and cause it to fall apart, that's not what happened this time. She sent me pictures of the broken chair, particularly a bent support and 2 other broken supports. She said that the chair broke under my weight, and it couldn't be fixed. And since the chair was an antique from her boyfriend's late grandmother, she wanted to get him a new one. I mean, there's still 2 paragraphs, so we'll see what happens after. But look, if I'm in this situation and you're at a friend's house and you do something that is kind of on you and you break something, to me it's expected that you pay for it or that you at least reimburse. You know? That's just the right thing to do it for a friend, in my opinion. So like I said, there's still 2 paragraphs left. We'll see what happens after. Maybe something else happens. But in my opinion, if you go and do something at someone's house, even if it's faulty, even if it's, you know, like, if you break something, you gotta just, you fix it, you know, or you get a new one for them, or I don't know, something. Yeah, at least pay for half of it. Come on now. That's my opinion, though. Okay, but let's get back into this. So these last 2 paragraphs. I responded that the chair was very old, and it had a history of collapsing, that's fair, that's true. If they were concerned about preserving it, they should not have had it out for people to use. And $250 plus for a chair I sat in for 1 second seems a bit ridiculous. Now this is a fair point, what she says, like they shouldn't have had it out at all for people to use. I get that. But it's like, look, man, like, I don't know. Like, if you know your weight and you know that, like, a tiny little chair can't handle you, then you probably shouldn't sit in it. But I guess if there was no other chair, then, you know. Either way, personally, I think you should at least pay for that. At this point, she seemingly got frustrated and said that she loves me, but that I'm her biggest friend, and that it wouldn't have been a problem to have anyone else sit in the chair. She said, "It broke from your weight plopping down all at once, not because the frame was loose. I think it's only fair you reimburse us for the chair since you're responsible for breaking it." Now again, if you know your weight and you know this kind of thing happens, I think it's fair to conclude that you have certain responsibilities as your friend. And I think this is fair for her to ask. Maybe $250 is a bit much, sure. But I think if you're a good friend, then you'll understand where both sides are coming from. Anyways, this last paragraph. I'm still figuring out how to respond. I don't want to pay her for something I don't see as being completely my fault. I also think she's using this scenario to shame me about my weight, which I find frustrating. My friends' opinions are mixed. A few are saying I should just pay her and move on, even if it's not exactly my fault. One of them thinks it is my fault and I should pay up. A few more think she's in the wrong for asking, and I should continue to politely decline. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay? Well, let me know what you guys think about this one. I wouldn't say necessarily you're the asshole, but, I mean, I don't know. If I was at a friend's house and this happened to me, I'd probably reimburse him for it. Or at least get him a new chair. Okay, so I have another one here from Am I the Asshole as well. This one's a bit shorter, but I kind of want to know you guys' opinion on this. Personally, I wouldn't do this, but let's just get into it. Okay, so the title. Am I the asshole for bringing my own food to a wedding? Now that's already, I don't know, man. If you have certain health conditions, maybe, but we'll see. So I, 36F, went to my college friend's wedding last weekend. I was really excited for it. She's a good friend of mine, and I wanted to celebrate. The issue is I have a medical condition. That means I can't eat certain common ingredients, gluten and dairy. It's not a fad diet or a preference. I get very sick if I eat them. I mentioned this on RSVP card, where it asked about dietary restrictions. The bride told me the venue couldn't guarantee anything gluten or dairy free because of cross-contamination, but she hoped I'd, and quote, make do with the salad and fruit. I didn't want to cause trouble, so I quietly brought a container of safe food in my bag, literally just grilled chicken and rice. When dinner was served, I discreetly went outside for 5 minutes, ate it quickly, then came back in to join everyone. I didn't make a scene, I didn't bring smelly food, and I didn't take anything away from the event. Turns out the groom's mother saw me with the container outside, and apparently told a bunch of people I was, quote, disrespecting the caterer, and making the couple look cheap. At the reception, she confronted me, and said I was embarrassing the family, and that I should have eaten beforehand if I had an issue. I explained that I wanted to be there for the full event, and didn't want to faint or get sick. She rolled her eyes and said that I was selfish, and that the wedding is about the couple, not about your diet. Some of our mutual friends also agree that I made an asshole move, and made the couple look bad. Now I'm wondering if I really did cross a line. I didn't want to draw attention, but maybe I could have handled it differently. So am I the asshole for bringing my own food to a wedding? Now, I think she handled this pretty well. If this was me, now I'm not allergic to really anything, and I can eat almost anything. So if this was me, I would definitely do something like that as well. I think playing that risk of getting sick would cause a lot bigger of a problem. And I think she handled it well. Because personally, like, what else can you do? I guess, yeah, you could eat beforehand or you could wait till after, but I mean, come on. It's being a little unnecessary. It's not like she did anything crazy. She just went outside to go eat, came back in real quick. Otherwise, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I think this is a little ridiculous. If I had a friend that did this to me, I would probably not continue to be their friend. But I think we're going to have one more. I'm going to look for one more real quick. Those 4 went by a lot faster than I thought, so I'm going to cut to finding another one, and we'll see. So I found another one from r/pointless stories. This one seems like a good lighthearted one to end off on. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so this one starts off with, the time a movie title made my boyfriend of 2 weeks think my life depended on it. Me and my partner of 3 years had a misunderstanding due to a movie title, so great that it nearly ended our relationship about 2 weeks in. Oh my god, 2 weeks in is crazy. We were talking about people emotionally relying solely on other individuals to have the will to keep going. He had a previous partner who expressed a similar sentiment to him throughout the relationship, making him feel a lot of pressure. And he mentioned something about the lines of, whoa, can you imagine your entire life/life satisfaction being contingent upon one person? I said, yeah, like me before you. His eyes got wide. He gave a small gasp and got real quiet. And then he quickly went to kiss me. Which I now realize was a panic response to shut me up. Oh no. It was silent for a moment before I realized how what I said could sound, and how it likely sounded to him. You see, I was referring to the 2016 film, Me Before You, starring Emilia Clarke, where she becomes the caretaker for a quadriplegic man with a bleak worldview, until they fall in love, and she alone gives him much more the will to go on. I won't give any spoilers, but it's a tearjerker. Honestly, I'm gonna have to check that one out. I've been looking recently for more like movie recommendations, and I've been in like more of a horror scene lately. I saw the new Conjuring movie a few weeks ago, and I don't know, it was okay. I thought it was okay. It didn't really scare me though, and so I'm looking for like a real scary movie, you know, something that will actually make me scared. So if you know any, let me know some scary movies, because I would definitely be checking some of those out. But let's wrap this up real quick. Anyways, I cleared it up, we had a good laugh, and he confirmed a year or so later on that had I not realized the interpretation and subsequently clarified, it would have likely been the end of us. That's crazy. Oh my god. I still think about it from time to time and feel relief that we figured that one out. Damn. Well, that's a good ending, so I think we'll end on this one. But if you enjoyed this, please let me know to do more. If you have stories of your own, you can share them with me. Otherwise, I'll just keep going on these Reddits. I love reading these. These are so much fun to me. And I like putting on these videos when I go to sleep or when I have homework to do and stuff. So if you like that as well, let me know. Please subscribe. And thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.